demonstration of the barcode scanning system or warehouse management system WMS that I prototype for Wine Paradise Coffee. You guys are currently looking at a list of open sales orders, or what we will call picking tickets, as the warehouse workers would need to pull items that pertain to this sales order. So these are all being pulled from a Safe Search API, a Safe Search report, which I integrated with the Django web application, basically calling the API of that Safe Search to pull all these records and displaying them in that web application. So for this example, we'll be looking at a sales order of Zippy's, a location in YPO, for this demonstration. So I see there Zippy's YPO, so I'll click on that sales order transaction ID, and it's currently talking to the NetSuite backend via API to get those items information. So we should be so as it's communicating, it's processing all those information, and you'll see in a bit of these outputs. So right now you're looking at that sales order. There are 5 items to be fulfilled in order to complete that sales order. So we look at that sales order in NetSuite right here. Those records should match up to each other. So what you see on the web application is what you should see on the NetSuite backend. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. And on the web application, you do see 5 items to it. Furthermore, the web application will display the stock inventory of those items. And I'll demonstrate in a bit where that matches up on the NetSuite backend. So if you were to go to NetSuite and you click on fulfill of a sales order, and that will take you to the item fulfillment page. And for this example, let's take a look at the FSPR6R right there. So as you can see, 5 cases need to be fulfilled, and on the right hand side you see 2 lot state, 18 and 77, and on the left hand side you should also see that same number, 18, for that lot, and that lot is 77. So yeah, there's only 2 lots of that same item. So as you can see, the integration between the Django web application of my WMS system, my WMS prototype to NetSuite. So as you guys can see here, I currently have my tablet here. It's hitting the server that I showed earlier, hosting the Django application, etc. And as I explained earlier, so right now I would be a warehouse worker, and I'm carrying this tablet around, and my supervisor would tell me, "Hey Tuan, could you please go check out the Zippy's YPO order?" So I would click on the Zippy's YPO order, and as it's getting the item information, I have here just a third-party scanner Bluetooth connected to my tablet. Now turn it on. Right here, it just came on, connected to my tablet. So I'm pulling the order, and as you can see, still the 5 items. I know there's no current 2.5 that product 2.5D lot in here, but I'll be scanning the FS-PR-6R product, and I don't have the case itself, but as you can see here, I did print out some barcode, etc., for me to scan. And these barcodes are code-128 format. As you can see, they're just basically the product here, the full name of the product, and this straight horizontal line delimiter to separate for the lot corresponded to NetSuite. So in order for me to scan the item, I would then press this button here, scan, that will highlight that I'll be scanning for item number 4. So I'll grab my barcode scanner. See that it's trying to scan right now. Now point at the FS6R product. So I'm scanning. And as you can see, I scanned it twice. And so there's that numerical block right there next to that lot, 260326. So directly I'll be pulling from what is saying in NetSuite right now, 2 of the 18 from that lot. So as you can see, if I just keep on scanning, it will just keep on fulfilling that, incrementing that number right there. So as you can see, every time I scan, I'm fulfilling 5 out of 5 in that product. So now what happened if I were to scan the wrong product, right? Let's just say this FSPR 2.5R. So if I try to scan that, it will throw me an error message saying that, hey, you're scanning the wrong item. So we're enforcing some sort of error checking in that operation so that the warehouse worker are not pulling the wrong item. So let's just say, so there's some more dynamic things involved here where you could just remove, you can add, more to this. So let's say it's 4. So when I change the number here, quickly change, because sometimes that was a request, that was a feature requested by the warehouse worker that you could, don't have to keep on scanning. You can just edit this number and then it would just populate in that fulfillment thing, in that fulfillment line, etc. You can remove. So when you do remove this, of course everything just reset back to zeros. But yeah, you can select any of these items. So for example here, I will select FSPR-2.5D, and this is just an example, right? Where of course there's no lots available, etc. But this for this example, if I were to select that 3rd item and I'll scan a barcode here, scan. So you can see that it will take that lot code, that code dash 128, and process it in my system. The next iteration, the next implementation procedure was to somehow integrate that with the item fulfillment and then automatically invoice it, like how I laid out in my article. And this would tremendously help the warehouse management with its current operation to be more efficient, to be less error prone, and to really close that loop with the digital processing of information.